This will just be a quick video on what I did to build these drawers out of pallet palings and cheap non-structural pine. Hi. Okay, you can sit down. This is just a simple set of drawers I made for extra storage under the bench I'm currently working on. The stain is new Jarrah and I really quite like the warmth it brings into this space, but since I'm using it everywhere it is starting to get a bit much on the eyes. For the drawer frames I decided to use a blue-green complementary colour to help break up all that orange. Initially I really didn't like it, but after a while it started to grow on me. First thing that needed to be done was to pull apart some pallets. I run the circular saw along both sides of the pallet, flip it over and do the same thing on the other side. I take the battery out every time I set the saw down because I have 2 young kids. Grab a hammer, pry bar and a dish for the old nails. I just twist, rock and pry off the palings. I am not too concerned about them getting a little damaged. And simply tap the nails back out the way they came. I also ripped the lengths of 70 by 35 straight down the center. I did this for 2 reasons. Firstly, it makes the drawers a lot less cumbersome, and secondly, it is cheaper because I get double the length out of each piece of timber I bought. I used angle iron for the drawer runners. It is way cheaper and it is also stronger. These drawers are quite heavy. I built the base of the drawers first. I went about it slightly different the second time around, but you can kind of see the idea here. I left a gap in the base of the top drawer for my circular saw to live. For the top of the drawer frame, I clamped it to the base while I was assembling it. Pre-cut a few palings to the height I wanted my drawer to be, then I clamped them and the top frame in place. I used a jigsaw to do a couple of cutouts. When I have a small gap to fill, I clamp a long length to a bench, mark out the size and run the circular saw down it. I could use my tiny table saw, but I find that I get a more accurate cut with my circular saw anyway. It's not as easy as you would think to try and tap it in and hold the camera steady. started putting the face of the drawer on. Then sanded it with an 80 grit flappy disc on the angle grinder, then I moved to 120 grit on the sander. Stained the face with watered down new Jarrah and the face frame with a mix of green and blue watered down cheap kids paint. The top drawer is for some of my tools and the bottom drawer is for our jeans and socks with its own separate sock compartment. I still need to attach handles, finish off the bench top and put in the flooring, but those are all jobs for another day. In the meantime, I am planning on finishing off the television cabinet. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video or found it somewhat helpful, then leave me a thumbs up. If you didn't, you can give me a thumbs down if you like, but either way, I hope I see you next time. Bye! The following information is a list of tools and materials used in this video.